I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at insori@gmail.com and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed. A child shall lead them.
So buy our merch.
Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. This is 7 Sins by the big homie Ren. We have been doing a deep dive into the mind as well as the brilliance of the big homie Ren.
Shout out to our DJ.
We've done 9. Honestly, guys, shout out to the big homie DJ Nick. Definitely deserves it. We love all of our DJs, but this was a very particular day, man. Craziness.
Nick's been knocking it out of the park. He also is the DJ that did the Elvis watch along.
Oh, that was Nick?
Yeah, that was Nick. So
shit, do you need the Bill Burr thing too?
He's just yeah.
It's kind of like a game changer. We gotta do DJ of the month. We gotta bring that back.
Oh yeah, that's true. We should do that.
All right, guys, here we go. We got one more song for you from the big homie Ren himself. The name of the song is 7 Sins.
Prepare yourself.
Prepare your beautiful selves, you beautiful people. Let me kill this thing right here.
Check it out.
And give the computer some support. Talk to the people a little bit.
Ren's favorite 7 Sins. Oh, wait, is that his favorite song you're saying?
And shout out to all the redheads in here. Thank you for the added context and the added info. It's been very, very helpful.
Also, don't forget, we are doing watch-alongs on our Rumble channel. So if you head on over to there, you can scroll through and find some of those movies. We've done one so far. It was the Elvis movie. It was actually pretty interesting.
It was a really good movie.
Yeah.
Definitely. Actually turned me into an Elvis fan. Shout out to Cass, who just made it.
Shout out.
Glad you just made it, sis. Okay, so the chippiness is gone. Let's go. This is Ren.
Daniel says this is his favorite song of Ren's.
7 Sins, you beautiful people. Let's check it out. Let's check it out.
I lay broken on the kitchen floor. I clawed at the laminate. Pain wandered my body, an uninvited guest. Bones of a home where the devil could rest. I cursed the gods, cursed my messiah, cursed my maker. I cursed all of creation. There I lay, feeble and thin. Sick boy, 7 my sin. Have you ever felt pain? Stomach wrenching, unrelenting. Tell me, have you ever felt pain? Condescending, muscles clenching. Tell me, have you ever felt pain? A rose emerges from the pavement cracks. I'll write my eulogy with broken glass. eternal parallax.
Pain.
Pain the author, I accept this. Pain the teacher, bruised apprentice. Pain resisting, pain will come. Pain the mother, I'm the son. Pain that splits you, and too many hits you. The dark and the light are converted to one. Pain that twists you, the heavens dismiss you. The Father, the Ghost, and the Holy Son. Body bags, body bagging me. Zip it up quick, get their things on B. I search for peace in the belly of a beast. Sick boy on a matapia. Running up a fever, following a leader. Wanna be me, huh? Grass isn't greener. Bright lights, he's your dynamite dealer. Dine at the table of the coroner, E-top fuck. 13 years and I've been feeling so stuck. Lucky number 13, just my luck. Empires tumble, rubble and dust. The universe shrinks and the planets combust. In God we trust. God tied a noose to his neck and he walked to the edge and he jumped. Angels wept, I bear witness, watching the whole thing unfold from my bed. A bed where I never deep rest, a bed where I'm always depressed. A bed with the human oppressed, a bed for a tomb where I slept. A bed in the room that's a womb for this mess. Sick boy bitten by a tick boy, tell me how it feels to be buried while you breathe. Stones and sticks boy, pain is a gift boy. Hard to make a stand when you crawl on your knees and I kneel. I kneel at the altar of my own disease and I beg this guy for mercy, mercy never came. I dipped me dirty, 33 and hurting, cursing. Jesus died at 33 and still my sins are lurking. Gears are turning, future stays uncertain. Surgeon incision, murder ambition. Fear of the unknown preserves a religion. Denounced the gods when my body went missing. Back then, the pain spray ricochet like a Mac 10. Hot lead hit the bed that was trapped in. Red wings, seraphim out of God's grace. Cried tears from heaven like clapping. Stick pins in the voodoo Hendrix. Thick skin, stay humble Kendrick. Stay skeptic, check the biometrics. Bloodstained crime scene forensic. Lights down, fade into the background. So down, running from the silhouette of self-doubt. By now, really should've figured this shit out. Lights out. Smackdown. Let it be, quote John Lennon. Click-clack, John got shot for attention. What does that tell you about the good of intentions? Bitterness formed in a storm of aggression. Prophets get dropped, imagining heaven. Hearted, loose from my hands, more dead. 6-6 followed by 6 and 7. Build them, praise them, bury them, dead. I was born to be half a man with half a chance. My heart isn't half righteous, half is down and half a gram. Half those troubles and thoughts stay darker than a Rukai master plan. Sharper than glass shards, splinter and cinnamon. Irony could kill a man. Pain makes money when the music lands. Expand, pay me my cheese, rain down parmesan. Followed by 7 whole sins for a self-made Armageddon. Sin 1, pride makes a man kill a man for his ego to survive. Sin 2, lust makes the grass look greener. Crucifies trust. Sin 3, gluttony, humans consume and consume. Planet Earth gets a frontal lobotomy. 4, sloth, rinse and repeat, reruns, repeat, time lost. Sin 5, envy, that's when one man's win is another man's frenzy. Sin 6, wrath, rage, vengeance, killers, psychopath. Sin 7, greed plants a seed that will destroy us all if we succumb to greed. If we take what we need and take more than we need, then our oceans will bleed. Still we feed and we sleep and repeat. Then we exile the shepherds and follow the sheep. We inherit the me, we inherit this world that we bruise and we beat. We inherit this vanity, circles of creeds. Inherit the liars, the murderous thieves. One sin for every one day of the week.
One sin for every day of the week. This boy, man, listen.
Oh, boy.
This man is talented, bruh. And he came out at the perfect time. Thank God. You listen to this kid instead of the cold like Minnesota shit. Like, this boy's saying something, man. For real.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
so Lyme disease, you know, when you talk about depression, this kind of depression is doesn't get talked about a lot.
The one that comes from a ailment in your body.
Yeah.
Who was that preacher that used to say
this is
gout?
my favorite preacher of all time, Charles Haddon Spurgeon. This guy was called the Prince of Preachers. And honestly, like, if I did a YouTube channel just reading his sermons, people would follow it. This man, like, what he did with words was incredible. He started preaching when he was like 16. Like, thousands of people. Like, this dude, like, he's a legend. He's a legend in that game. But his thing was he had gout. He had gout and he had serious bouts with depression. He had depression so bad that there were whole entire stretches he couldn't get out of bed. He couldn't preach, none of that shit. And a large part of his depression was the constant pain that he was in because of gout.
Yeah.
And, you know, honestly, he could have done some dieting and exercise would have reduced the symptoms exponentially. He was on the bigger side, Mr. Spurgeon was.
Right.
But, you know, and he was a big cigar smoker. I mean, you know, just a couple things that weren't really helpful to his cause. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of his personal journals, I mean, he had a team of people that would have to be around him. There was one time he preached a sermon and there was a stampede and people died.
Oh my God.
So he was out for months. He couldn't move because, you know, obviously it's his fault, whatever. But yeah, like a lot of his depression was connected to the pain that he felt. And when you have a chronic illness that's just following you, like it really broke him, you know, as a person, you know, and it really, and you know, he was trying to function. So it's not like you could, you know, at the time it was only morphine or whatever. Like they didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it was very, 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 very difficult. Very difficult for him because it's something that nobody around you can relate to.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, I used to get these migraines as a kid, and they were pretty bad. I mean, no matter what I took, there was one I got for 3 days straight, and there was nothing I could do, and I couldn't keep I couldn't even open my eyes. I was 11.
What did your mom do?
Oh, my mom, I knew it was bad because like around day 2, I mean, it was still up to like an 11 pain wise. Like I couldn't talk. Like I would talk with my eyes closed and I wouldn't talk a lot. It was that bad. I couldn't talk.
Oh, jeez.
And I just remember like being like, and I was having such a hard time going to sleep. I couldn't go to sleep. I just remember being like, man, I hope I sleep and never wake up again. Like, and I didn't know what I was saying as a kid. I didn't know what, like, it was just mind-numbingly painful.
Yep.
And I got scared when my mom was, she started coming in. I could tell that she was like, what the hell's going on here? Yeah. And my mom was a registered nurse at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, she knew how to take care of me, but,
wow.
Yeah. If you guys ever get copyrighted for Ren's songs, he said he'll take care of it. He wants reactors to play stuff without issues. Well, that would be great because they already blocked one of our songs. We've already got a copyright hit. So I'll send an email to the big homie. All you guys, if you can, send an email to the homie. Hell, tell him we'd love to do an interview with him because
we would love that.
Not that he needs to earn our respect at all, but like as a hip hop head, as a person who I lived in this genre. I know when somebody is like real. I know when somebody like has listened to the classics and things like that, and he's one of them. Like he's a legit, genuine hip hop head. So I appreciate you. Yeah, man. Migraine headaches are the worst, man. The throwing up ones. You can't see any light. I couldn't hear anything. They had to clear out the whole floor from it. It was bad. It was really, really bad. So like he's got Lyme disease, and the other thing too is like I think if I'm putting it together from the fans in the chat, I'm pretty sure that he was misdiagnosed for years.
Yeah.
So that means the meds that they were giving him were not affecting, or they weren't giving him any meds and saying that's not the problem. And there's all this like opiate addiction happening in the world. So I'm sure there's a lot of that. They look at you kind of sideways if you say you're in extreme pain and you need, you know, like, and I understand why the doctors are doing that because it's going on around. Yep. So, you know, that's very, very difficult. Now, I don't think I've ever been misdiagnosed or whatever. But I could just imagine you're going to the doctors. This sucks, but I'm finally going to get relief. He's going to figure it out. And they either come back with a faulty whatever. And the first time it's like, oh, that's a problem. Here's a prescription. And then it's going on for years and nothing is helping. Like, imagine, like...
such an over... When I'm pregnant, you know, and I get so sick during the pregnancy, and it just feels like there was one pregnancy where when we would get done recording, and I would start walking across the floor, like the bottoms of my feet hurt so badly. It was like, it was incredible. And like, I kept telling myself, yeah, but this is only going to go on a certain point, and then there's going to be an ending point, because you are going to birth the baby. It kind of feels like even after you birth the baby, you're still going to be in bad shape. It takes a little while to heal, but you know, like, there's still a party that's like, nah, you're going to be all right. Once you have the kid, you're going to be all right. But like, I can't imagine being in a situation where you keep getting, you know, the wrong diagnosis, and there is nothing is relieving your pain. And at some point, you're probably seeing the doctors like looking at you sideways, like, oh, right. So you need more drugs is what you're saying. But if somebody's in pain and they're not figuring out the problem.
The other thing is, if you are in a constant state of pain and you finally run up to meds that actually help, just as a human being, you're probably gonna fall into some addiction issues there, because you've suffered for so long, and it's like,
some relief.
I'm finally getting some relief. You're probably already self-medicating prior to that anyway. Like, it's so hard, and we've seen people from, like, you're in the gutter relative to addiction issues, and we got folks just dying in the street, whatever. And then we also know people who are multimillionaires who have stood at the top of the pile of everything and have serious addiction issues that genuinely affects the quality of life, length of life, what they can do career-wise. I mean, to this day. So it's such an insidious thing that we've got this technology, and we've got pharmaceutical companies, and like, on the one hand, we all have this like instinct about fuck the pharmaceutical companies, they're terrible. But on the other hand, there is relief from pain that came about because of them. There are things that we just take in our regular life, Tylenol, blah, 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 that our ancestors wouldn't have had. At the same time, it is clear that the pharmaceutical companies are obviously not really truly in it for the purest reasons in the world. And so anytime you combine capital with stuff, it's going to create, a problem. But like, that first verse was so powerful, because I know somebody, like I said, really sweet person, humanitarian like you would not believe, really dedicated her life to the preservation of life of other human beings, and she got the worst of it,
with Lyme's disease specifically.
Yeah. Have you ever felt pain, stomach wrenching, unrelenting? Tell me. Have you ever felt pain, condescending, muscles clenching? Tell me. Have you ever felt pain, a rose emerging from the pavement cracks? Tupac has a book of poetry called The Rose That Grew Out of Concrete.
Yeah.
I bought that from my big brother, 1999. I got jammed up by the police. Shout out to the NYPD.
And this is just another little side note. When I was having that pain in my feet when I was pregnant, my muscles would start like spazzing out. It was horrible feeling. And like, they would like start clenching, and there was nothing, like, I would try to stretch it while it was happening, but it was so painful. Like, when he describes this, and this is not connected to some weird pregnancy symptom.
Have you ever felt pain, that part?
Yeah, like that, like the stomach wrenching, unrelenting. Tell me, have you ever felt pain? Condescending, muscles clenching. Like, when you're in pain and your muscles won't relax, and you're like, I just need these muscles to relax, and they won't. Like, I don't know what that's like. Are we talking like full body? Like, that's got to be crazy painful.
They'll write my eulogy with broken glass. Just brilliant wordplay there,
Wait, why?
They'll write my eulogy with broken glass. Like, so like a eulogy is what you say to the person after they're dead, and to write it with broken glass would be, the imagery would be like what broken glass does to a body, because that's the pain. He's saying the pain is going to finally take me out. So write my eulogy in broken glass, and something that tears the body apart. Pain the author, I accept this. Pain the teacher, bruised apprentice. Brilliant wordplay. Pain resisting, pain will come. Pain the mother, I'm the son. Pain that splits you in two when it hits you. The dark on the light all converge into one. Pain that twists you, the heavens dismiss you, the Father, the Ghost, and the Holy Son. I mean, that line, that whole part there is so good. Especially at the end where he says, heaven dismisses you, the Father, the Ghost, and the Son, the Trinity, like God in his fullness. You know, like, because as Christians, we believe that there's one being that's God, but that one being is three persons, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And they represent conscious aspects of God relative to how we relate to him. So, for example, as Father, we relate to God as the originator, the one that gives direction to your life. The Son is essentially your big brother. He's the one that takes the rap for you. He takes the blame for you, like my big brother did all the time. And then you have the Holy...
He's the violent big brother who's also the sacrificial lamb.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Jesus, the big brother, he'll fuck you up if you mess with one of his brothers, but at the same time, he'll die for you too. Figure him out.
Interesting.
And then you know, and so like to feel abandoned by God, interesting, like as a Trinitarian, like it happens like 3 times over. Like, it's a very uniquely Christian experience. Like, you know, like you got 3 people that left you behind instead of just one. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that is such an important line because again, if God is not big enough to handle, you abandoned me when I needed you the most. If he's not big enough to handle that, then he's not God. Because I've had my kids say stuff to me that wasn't true like that. But the Lord was like, we don't need to correct him. He's crying. And also he's 4. So give the kids some grace.
Yeah, I think the other thing too is that God sees the end from the beginning. So where we don't, we see the timeline that we're on. We see the beginning of our life till the end of our days. And that's how we see with everybody else around us. But God is bigger than that timeline. And there is existence beyond this world that we live in now. So that being true, it's very possible that the event that you're in, the situation that you find yourself in, where God has brought that situation to you. So he's not offended when you say you abandoned me. He's like, you know, the situation is set up so that way you'll see me more clearly. So God understands that there are certain times where he pulls back and he pushes forward and he's working all things for our good. That's what he says. He says that if you love him and you're called according to his purposes, like he's working all things for your good. So then it comes down to faith. Like, can I believe that? Can I believe that God's actually working this out? Because this looks awfully dark right now. And the other part of this song that kind of popped out to me was when he was talking about his like bed. He said, I bear witness watching the whole thing unfold from my bed, a bed where I never deep rest, a bed where I'm always depressed, a bed with a human oppressed, a bed for the tomb where I slept, a bed in this room that's a womb for this mess. That was just crazy, you know, because depression can be like that sometimes when you're stuck there.
Well, and you know what you said about before, like God works it all for the good to those who love him or called according to his purpose. There's another verse where Paul's in prison, and then he says, I bear all things for the sake of the elect. In the sense that God has chosen us to be part of his family. And on top of the fact that your suffering is going to work out ultimately for your good because God loves you and he has a purpose for you. And you love God. I know that this kid loves God a lot because he keeps mentioning God every other song. Like, me, when I'm mad, I'm not going to go out in public and talk about you. I'm not going to blast you. I'm not going to do none of that shit. You know what I'm going to do? If I'm really, really mad at you, I will never mention your name ever again. Ren, every other thing, God this, God that. So I know homeboy loves God, but the thing is he's not a liar. Because he's figured it out. There's no reason to lie to God. If I feel like you abandoned me, I'm going to say that shit because otherwise, what's the point of talking to you? I did this with us. I had a breakthrough in prayer one time. I was in my closet, blah, blah, blah. Using some religious prayer. I was going through a situation and the Lord was like, this is all bullshit. What are you doing? And it just came to me very, very simply in my mind. If God knows everything, then why are you editing your prayers, you weirdo? And as soon as that happened, everything changed for me.
That's crazy.
I was like, oh, well.
How many years ago was that?
It's
been a while.
A little over a decade ago.
Right.
You were there. I was
honestly,
upstairs. I was upstairs. You guys were downstairs. You guys didn't even know what happened. It was like a historical day. You guys had no idea. I came down to the Bible study all night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's... Shoot. Well, all right. Carry on. It just, like, went away from me, so...
Yeah, due to his illness, he was in bed for 23 hours a day for months at a time.
I was going to say, God has to remind me that almost every time I pray. Like, I go out, like, to start my prayer time, and there's so many times, like, I would say 85%, I start talking, and he's like, what are you doing? And then I'm like, yeah, that's true. This is what's going on. I'll be like, Lord, I thank you for the, and then I'm like, wait a minute, yeah, that's true. I will thank you for that, but not right now. I got other things to talk about.
What's interesting, though, about earlier, we're talking about God doing all things for the sake of the elect, which means that we don't just suffer because God is going to do something good in our lives. We also suffer for other people. So Adam says, no, it wasn't Adam, sorry. It was Ren, not Ren, says, he was in bed for 23 hours a day for months at a time. It was his tomb. But think about this. All you can do on that bed is suffer and write raps.
Think about God, how he relates the whole thing.
That's why he's such a good rapper. One of the reasons, Ren, because I've seen him. You're an attractive dude, and you're obviously very charismatic. If this kid didn't have that Lyme disease that put him on his ass, trust me, you would not see the artist that you see right now. A lot of this is talent, but a lot of this is pain and time. You got a lot of pain and you got a lot of time. And God gifted you with a mind, and he basically put this dude on timeout because he's like, look, man, I'm going to make a wonderful career for you, my boy. I'm sure he wouldn't change anything for the world, but here's the thing. Good about his career, but more than that, how many thousands and hundreds of thousands of people have been helped by this man?
100%. Yep.
He didn't just...
there it is.
When a sick boy bitten by a tick boy.
Lyme disease.
Tell me how it feels. Yeah, that's Lyme disease.
Yeah.
And then think about that. Think about all of the literal trillions of counterfactuals that had to happen for him to be at that place where the bug bit him, right? And it's kind of like a Spider-Man story. He got bit by the bug and then he became a superhero, right? Like, so he's talking about like being on the linoleum kitchen,
just clawing,
writhing in pain, being on his bed for 23 hours. When he was on that kitchen floor, he wasn't thinking, I'm going to help hundreds of thousands of people, and then these reactors with a channel, they're going to watch me, and they're going to talk about me, and blah, 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 and God's name's going to go out there, and my name's going to... All he knows is the pain that's in front of him. But God specifically wrote that into this boy's story so that he could help thousands and thousands and thousands of people and have the ability to take care of his family while doing it. It's incredible.
He said his depression was a blessing in disguise.
Of course. But the thing is, it's not just true for people who rap and get big or people who get YouTube channels. It's literally everybody. If you know how to interpret your pain properly and use it properly and personify it in a sense, because he says pain was his teacher. If you understand all these things and you're able to categorize what these things are, then you not only will see at the end that it turned out for the good, but you're going to see other people going to come up to you and say, thank you for XYZ thing. And you're going to be the one that knows, if I didn't go through some shit, if I didn't go through some shit, I wouldn't have been able to help you with this, you know? And that, I think, is really, 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 really important to understand. Like, that to me is the lesson of this dude's life and career. And I just pray that he continues. I love his raw authenticity relative to his relationship to God. It's real, and it's that's how it's supposed to work. This is how it's supposed to go. Because he's dealing with this God like it's a real person. And he said something extremely...
Let me just point out this. I was born to be half a man with half a chance. My heart is half righteous, half is damned.
Yeah, and half a gram, and all that shit. Yeah, but where's the?
Yeah, that was just.
There was one line I was like, let me find out. This man is he's on some gang shit. He's really invested.
Okay.
I just can't find it right now.
You don't remember what the word was?
Just talk to the people.
All right. Yeah, Eden, I guess, apparently is another one of his songs. Eden was awesome. It was shown right before Money Game Part 3, after we played Money Games with Ren, his team, and the Renegades. Okay, everybody's saying that Eden is a must.
There you go. He said, the universe shrinks and planets combust. In God we trust. God tied a noose to his neck and he walked to the edge and he jumped.
Oh, yeah. You did react
Angels
to that point.
wept. I bear witness watching the whole thing unfold from my bed. Right? Like, that's a crazy line, dude. God tied a noose to his neck and he walked to the edge and he jumped. Okay, now what's he talking about? Well, he could be talking about himself, like, yo, I'm about to hang myself right now. Or he might be talking about, he might be looking across, he might be in his bed and he sees a crucifix on the wall somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, maybe across from him. And in that sense, he could say, Jesus, did you go to the cross and die because you just can't take all the pain that you're seeing in the world, like what he's dealing with right now? He said, God tied a noose to his neck, walked to the edge and jumped, and angels wept. And quite frankly,
I bear witness watching the whole thing unfold from my bed, which is what you said.
And Ren is telling us throughout his illness he was also hallucinating. But again, in a very real sense, that is what we are saying happened. What we're saying is God looked down at all the mess in the world and said, I gotta find a way to balance out free will with love. So I'm gonna come down here and live like one of y'all. And I'm going to take on to myself in my physical body and my spiritual body all of your nasty. But he's God. So the only way that could happen, the only way for God to die is that he has to kill himself in a way. Right? And so he did something that you would think is completely counterproductive by dying. But like I said, if you can kill an idea and it can resurrect in your mind, then it's going to stay there forever. And that's the ultimate, that's all I have for you, dear listener. I am here because Jesus died and then he rose from the dead. And when I was in the psych ward and all that jazz, shout out to all my disabled people. Did I need the meds? Yep. Did I need the counseling? Yep. Was I engaged in my own recovery? Yep. The biggest thing was I had the Lord Jesus there. He was there, and he gave me a bunch of strength that I didn't have at the time, and he also challenged me, and he also used very specific voices and people in my life to challenge me to get me to where I am. And now we're around you beautiful people. So listen, man, all I could tell you is it's real. And that's been my experience, and it continues to be my experience. But this guy is the ultimate example. I was at church one time, and I was like complaining because that's all I do is complain.
Okay.
And God said to me, out of the anger of his soul, he shall see and be satisfied. And he said, stop crying. Whatever's true for the head is true for the body. And then he left. And so what that means is that was in Isaiah 53. It was talking all the shit that Jesus had to go through. He was oppressed. He was afflicted. He was beat beyond human recognition. He was mocked. He was being accused of something he didn't do. Blah, blah, blah. The people that he loved the most betrayed him. All this stuff. And I was like, yeah, me too. And in all this suffering that Jesus is going through, God the Father says, yep, but out of the anguish of his soul, he shall see and be satisfied. See what? Well, the Bible tells us that Jesus, who for the joy set before him, bore the cross, despising the shame. And then it says in the end of Jude, to him who is able to keep you from falling and present you unstained in his glorious presence with great joy. And so God was just saying to me in that moment, like, bro, you're on the cross, man. It sucks. And yeah, this shit is going to kill you, but you're going to rise from the dead. You're going to rise from the dead. And when you do, you're going to see that everything had to happen this way. And when it says he will see and he will be satisfied, what it means is God the Son is going to look at God the Father and say, man, that really sucked. All that shit sucked. And I wouldn't have changed a scintilla because I am satisfied with what I bought with all this suffering. And so that's true for Jesus, and it's true for everybody who follows it. And that's what God meant when he told me whatever's true of the head is true of the body. Because Jesus is the head, and we're the body. And just as it's true that out of the anguish of his soul he shall see and be satisfied, that is a promise God gave to me. He said, out of the anguish of your soul, you're going to see and you're going to be satisfied. That is something I'm holding on to for the future, because I'm not right now. Some of y'all know. Well, most of y'all don't. But, yeah, that's a promise that I hold on to a lot. And, you know, might be hocus pocus, it might be whatever, but it's more real to me than her sitting next to me right now. And that might just be religious delusion or whatever, or it might just very well be that maybe we're not actually alone in this vast universe, dear listener. Maybe we actually have a Father. Maybe there's a God in Trinity who actually really does care.
And he's mighty to save.
Like maybe there are like good plans. But like every story, there's got to be a conflict. There's got to be a bad guy. Lord of the Rings is not a classic because Frodo was in the Shire the entire time, right? And all them boys didn't get so close to each other because they were hanging out in the Shire smoking whatever it was that Gandalf was up in there. Smoke if you got him. I'm not judging you, Gandalf. Go for your shit, boy. But none of this shit happens for us, dear listener, without some suffering. All of us in our community have been brought together by suffering. Now, we're not going to make a God out of suffering, because God is God. But we're not cowards over here either. There are no cowards in the metal community. There are no cowardly renegades. And to live life on a daily basis is a fucking brave thing to do, and I salute every single one of y'all that do that. Because that shit is real. I mean that. I salute you. This shit is tough what we're all going through out here, especially in this day and age. Good night. All right, that's all I got for you beautiful people. I'm sure there's going to be more Ren in the future.
Seven Sins, did you rate it?
Sean Riley says, how many songs left? My brother.
Hate to tell you this.
This
show started 5 hours ago.
Yeah. We've been plugging at it. We've been plugging at it for 5 hours. Oh, you renegades!
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Don't worry, you guys. It's up on Rumble. So if you guys search for us on Rumble, you're going to be able to find this whole stream there. It didn't get blocked over there. It's not getting shut down over there. So you can still go back and enjoy the fun.
Be able to watch it in its entirety.
It's a time traveler.
We're here to fulfill Raw's uncle's destiny. Thank you guys so much to all the renegades. I think that's the Ren fans. Thank you guys so much for all the assistance that you helped. You guys provided a lot of really important context that we did not have.
Yeah.
And so thank you guys again. We will meet again, I am sure. If you want to create a Ren Alliance, I'm sure there's a way to create a Ren Alliance somewhere. I will reach out to Ren's team for the copyright. You know what, Ren, not Ren, do me a favor. Thank you for the $20 super chat. 4.5 hours of Rem chat, epic. Only one smart. Yeah, one little part got blocked. Very sorry for that. I'll be able to fix that in post-production, or maybe we could email Ren and he can get that lifted. Ren, not Ren, do me a favor. vidansori@gmail.com. If you have any what do you call it?
Advice on how to get that done.
How to get to Ren, that'd be great. Also, email me, because I want to talk to the homie, man. Like, this dude is incredible. Incredible.
Yep. There's our DJ Nick.
This is DJ Nick, guys.
You're very welcome, everyone.
Everybody type 22 for DJ Nick. Thank you so much, dude. This was a very special day. Very, very, very special day. Shout out to DJ Nick, man. Really, really good selections as well, Nick. Really good selections. JLB in the house.
Yep.
Yeah, Red Not Red. Thank you for that. Look at all that. Look at all them 22.
That's
Shout out to
Shout out to DJ
Nick, man. Really, really
Shout
good
out.
selections, man. Good job, DJ Nick.
This one.
Yeah, we got the house
Shout out to
party
DJ
going.
Nick.
Hey, we're gonna be doing this a lot more often, guys. We do this with heavy metal. We do this with anything. We're also gonna be watching some shows. We're gonna be doing some watch along. This season of the Vin and Sori broadcast is gonna be about interactivity, hanging out with us, all that jazz. We love you, beautiful people. But with that, we have to bid you guys adieu. Also, watch out. I might be doing a Middle America or one of these late night streams, like late, just to hang out and talk and chill. All right, guys. Much love to all you beautiful people. Vin out.